going to talk about how energy is processed with the bees.
Okay, so Veronica, if you want to hit the lights and the vibrator thing. So over here, as you can see, the yellow glitter is mostly the pollen on the flowers. And the bee that is vibrating right now, you can't really tell, but it's vibrating. We put a worker bee, so their wings symbolize different workers. The light pink is the worker bees, the darker pink is the drones, and this glitter one is the queen bee. So over here, the bees are at work, and at the flowers, they go into the flower and they get the nectar, which also makes their honey inside of the comb. So right now, they're getting their pollen right there, and they get it from like the inside of the flower, which is also the male parts, and there's female parts of a flower. So when they move to a different flower, they're dropping this pollen onto different flowers, and that's how they make flowers reproduce more, because this pollen like makes them grow. So the trails show the pollen like going down whenever they're flying, and then it's a part of the reproduction of the flowers and the energy. And then over here, if you want to get that going. As you can tell on this flower, there's a lot of pollen right there with the glitter. And this bee is dancing, so whenever there's a strong pollen sense on the flower, the bees will dance, and it calls other bees to come over, and they get pollen off of that flower, and also they get the nectar for their honey. So this dance symbolizes their special dance whenever they're dancing and they have a good pollen spot.
So next we're going to talk about how bees respond to the environment.
Okay, so this is the guard bee here.
Go away.
Can you turn the red light on? Okay. So like here's the intruder, and the red light resembles like the intruder coming in, and then
Go away.
the
Protect the hive.
guard bee is telling the inside of the hive that an intruder's coming in.
Protect the hive.
And then an example of regulation from the worker bees is that whenever the hive gets too hot or warm, they fan off the hive with their wings to regulate, like almost like homeostasis, and cools down the hive. Okay, so for inside the hive, we have our queen bee laying her eggs. So these are like her eggs down here with the little light turning on. And then we have, you can't really hear the vibration, but it's happening between the two bees. So the queen mates with the drones. And I don't know if you guys remember when the beekeeper came, he explained that she'll mate with like a bunch of different drones, and then obviously she'll lay eggs, so that like reverts back to the theme of reproduction.
And after
Then they die.
after the season of the drones is over, or if the queen doesn't need them to mate, they will either be kicked out or they will stop being fed, and they will end up dying and falling out of the hive.
Yummy.
Bees secrete their royal jelly in order to feed their queen bee. Queens are fed royal jelly from the beginning of the cycle to the end. It's for 16 days.
She fell off.
Oh, our queen bee fell off.
And worker bees and drones are all fed jelly for 2-3 days, and it takes them 21 days to process it, and it takes drones 24 days. Growth and development, it goes together with feeding.